Well, you know, we're one of thousands of families across the United States that's been caught up in this Stanford thing. And we invested in an American brokerage firm that was regulated by the SEC, that had brokers that were members of FINRA and the SIPC.
You can plan for so much as you near retirement. And this was the very, very last thing that we were prepared for, that everything that we had was going to go away, or had gone away. We didn't even know what to understand about it. We didn't even know the right questions to ask because it was just like smacking us right in the face.
My plea is for the political arena to step in and help understand, dig into it, and understand what's going on and what's happening, because families are just destroyed. And at our age, try to go out and find a job. Next to impossible. So my plea is we need help.
I worked at Exxon from 1968 to 2000, retired in November 2000. And I invested my money in my retirement, my IRA, with Raymond James originally. My broker transferred to Stanford, and I stayed with my broker, so we ended up being with Stanford also. And I had worked all my life trying to not be a burden on anybody, my government, my children, or anybody. And now with my life savings, I figured that we could live comfortable the rest of our lives, not extravagant, but comfortable the rest of our lives, and not be a burden on our children. Now I don't know what's going to happen. I found out after the fact that they'd been looking at Allen Stanford for years. And I didn't know nothing about it. I feel like that we should have been warned or something. I feel like I was put out on a clothesline to dry, basically to just letting things happen, and now all of a sudden I'm a victim of circumstances that I had nothing to do with or knew nothing about, but my government did.
My name's Richard Cochran. I'm Baton Rouge. I worked 47 years in the construction industry as a construction manager. I'm a tough old construction person, but it knocked me to my knees. It's something I had never dealt with. All of a sudden, I'm going to be without money. But I knew I had some extra reserve and other things, so I checked all my bills and everything, and I determined that I got enough for us to live 4 years pretty comfortably. As long as we budget ourselves and scrimped and saved, we'd be all right for at least 4 years. But also knew that that wasn't much of a future. In 4 years, I had to be either working or dead. And not afraid to work, but this is supposed to be my golden years. He turned my golden days into a nightmare.
We never tried to cheat the system, always paid our taxes, worked our 2 jobs.
My car has 119,000 miles on it. His truck has about 98, and our son has like 112. We saved the money for
a day like today.
Yeah.
And
now it's not there.
You know, we trusted these guys. We trusted that the government would tell us something. Hey, there's something wrong. These guys were money laundering. We never heard a thing. No one ever told us anything.
Understand now, congressmen and senators, we were doing business with a licensed brokerage firm in the United States, and Hank was a licensed broker. We did not knowingly go out of the country and invest our savings. We were investing with what we thought was an American company.
Somebody, somewhere, in all of the regulatory agencies should have seen this. Nobody was watching the door. And I'm the guy suffering because of it.
I'm working 4 jobs now, trying to make up. And the sad part is, I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm younger than some of them. I worked hard, but I've at least can start all over again and have some time. Nobody wants to do it, but there's no choice. I have to start all over. Their government's constantly warning us about hurricanes or smoking or you can't eat too much fat or don't drink while you're pregnant. I mean, they warn us about everything. And this one thing that they knew was going on, and for some reason just decided not to warn anybody. The kind of people that are victims here are the people that are always trying to do the right things. They're the responsible ones. If we had been warned, believe me, we would have gotten out of the way of this disaster. But without any warning, we had no way of knowing.
Let's change places. You come sit in my seat. And if it was your money, if it was your life savings, how would you approach the attack? Would you sit back and turn a cheek, or would you see to it that this money's recovered to the rightful owners and do it in a timely manner?
Again, the victims in this particular Ponzi scheme, this fraud, are being told by our government, quote, that this was massive, ongoing fraud. It is very difficult for us to sit here living our lives, paying our taxes, paying our dues, and to have our government tell us that the company we are dealing with was accused of massive, ongoing fraud. What does that mean? How can that be? So the thing that I would say to you is, we have children, just like you do. You know, we planned for our children's future. We did everything right. We did the things we were supposed to do to live the American dream, and it has been snatched away from us. I would close with, please look inward. Please do not let us down. We have no place else to turn than the government of the United States of America.